looking back on your time at the helm, um, what decision would you maybe look at and maybe go back and do something differently? Which one would you like to have back?
Yeah, that's a tough question to answer because I've got them in my head. It's a small number, less than a handful. But I'd be afraid to divulge them because I think for the most part we did pretty good on things. I think NASCAR is always very thorough and diligent. But in the era that I was at the helm of it, there's probably two or three that stand out very quickly to me, but I'd be afraid to divulge them.
Hey, it's just between you,
Maybe not afraid
me,
to. Maybe I just
Steve, and a
don't
few
want to.
thousand listeners. It's just between me, you, Steve, and a few thousand listeners. You'll be fine.
Well, see, let's go back to your question about the media.
Yeah.
I love y'all to death, but I still have to be wary.
I understand. Mike, you've been busy in this sport for decades. You've been at the helm and directed the sport and its competitors, and you've earned a lot of respect in the garage area and with the media. Put you on the spot here. What do you think your legacy is going to be?
I don't know if there is one. See, I think my best contribution to this sport is that it goes on like it is, and it's seamless, and people can look around, and if I'm at the racetrack, I get to say hello to them and hang out with them. If I'm not there, everything works fine. So personally, my legacy is that I'm not missed, because if that's the case and I did everything right, where those passed on the legacy of this sport to me and put me in custody of parts of it, I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to be sure that what I do is pass on components that may not even be relevant today, but the history of our sport, I think, is the history of our sport and should always be considered and thought of. So I think my hope, and it's I can already see it. So it's my legacy is that I'm not missed, that this sport is as good and strong as it's ever been, with or without me.